Hi, my name is Gabe, and I led the South Africa team in the fall 2019 DTS. While I was in South Africa, we did a lot of different ministries, one being leading a church in a Zulu tribe. While we were in that Zulu tribe, the men don't go to that church. They actually stay home and worship their ancestors and drink away all their problems just to get back into work on Monday. While I was there, I felt the conviction to call these men to hire, so I went to them in the midst of their drinking and called them out and said, "Come to church and follow the God who actually speaks back." They were confused that a white man had actually come to their area, and they asked me to really just explain why their God, why my God talks and theirs doesn't. After I invited these men, about 13 of them ended up walking to church, intoxicated and all. During that church service, it was one of the most active church services the pastor said he ever saw. The children were paying attention and being quiet and attentive. The men were leading in the dances that they learned as a child in church, and it was just a great service. But I didn't want it to just end there. I didn't want it just to be a one-time thing where these men went to church and went back to their false gods. So I called them to hire. I asked them to stay back from leaving, and so I could speak to them individually. There I called them out and said the greatest legacy that they can leave their children is the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ. They didn't know what to do with that. They didn't know how that would feed their families. They didn't know how that would help their children, but I just told them the good news and what Jesus has to offer. By the end of that, they all wanted that for their families and for themselves. 13 of those 13 men accepted Jesus Christ. In that, one of them wanted to learn how to preach. He says, "I don't know how to preach. Can you help me?" I said, "Well, what do you have?" And he started speaking, and he spoke with so much authority that I said, "You already can speak. You just need to learn scripture." In that, he said, "My son has a Bible at home. I'll read it this week." The next time we returned, which was 2 weeks later, he ended up telling me his whole sermon that he had learned. A man went from worshiping ancestors to knowing the one true God who could speak and speaking on that to others.